Thank you for joining us today for our 15-minute education series. Today, we are going to walk through how to catch unbilled work. So if you've attended a webinar before, you may recognize Chase Holman, our solutions engineer. Chase, could you give the audience a brief introduction before I jump into some housekeeping items?
Sure thing. Yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. My name is Chase, solution engineer. So, sort of a fancy title for saying I just help customers like you understand our products and services. Currently living in Utah and happy to present this information to you guys today.
Thanks, Chase. So just to give everyone an idea of where to find the Q&A and resources, on the right side of your screen, you'll have a few buttons to click Q&A, ask questions, answer polls, view resources. So definitely check those out. Throughout the presentation, you are able to submit your questions into that Q&A section, and we'll have time probably for a few questions at the end. And if we don't get to your question, we'll make sure to reach out to you after the fact over email. And so before we really kick it off, I would like to start with a poll today, just so we know who's on with us and we can tailor the content. So this should pop up on the middle of your screen, and asking how you would describe your practice right now. Would you say you're just getting started in that building process? Are you stable in maintaining? Are you growing steadily, or are you growing fast in hiring? So we'll give you a second to answer that poll that is on your screen. Wow, I see a lot of people just getting started. That's a really exciting time. Congratulations on that. And a lot of people growing fast as well. Also a very exciting time. So we'll definitely help you catch unbilled work, whether you're getting started or again you're going so fast you want to make sure you're not missing anything. So that's fantastic. Well, keep on answering that poll if you haven't, but I will pass it over to Chase to start going over how to catch unbilled work.
Awesome. Thanks, London. And appreciate you guys responding to the poll. Like London said, whether you are just getting started or things are ramping quickly or kind of somewhere in between, hopefully things like looking for unbilled charges will help you prevent revenue from slipping through the cracks and make sure that you support your practice moving forward. So before we talk, like actually jump in and show you what it looks like and how you can find unbilled charges, just wanted to quickly kind of talk through what that even means. Like, what are we talking about? Because it can be a little bit confusing. Like, you're using a practice management system, you have this EHR, everything's supposed to be magic, right? Well, with any piece of technology, there's always room for errors still. And so you have to make sure all the processes are being followed in order for claims to go out and for things like unbilled charges not to show up in your system. And so just like driving a car, you have to kind of understand the rules of the road. When you use a practice management system or an EHR, you have to understand what could be the things that would prevent claims from going out or charges from going out. And then you have to go look for those and make sure it's not happening. So things like unsigned notes, improper setup, delayed documentation, all those sorts of things can create unbilled charges and can sort of linger behind the scene. And so you need to do some detective work to go find them. So that's what we're going to show as we jump into the system. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into my Fusion account to show you how to find these unbilled charges. Now, important to note, I am using a demo environment, so any information you see here is not going to be PHI. It may seem a little bit different than what you typically see just because we use this for testing, so there will be some large numbers and different things shown here. Now, initially, you might think I'm looking for unbilled charges, so I need to go to the billing tab, right? And that is a good place to start. You can come to the Fusion billing tab and go to your different buckets. You can see claims that are waiting or reviewing. In those two different statuses, they haven't been billed, or maybe they've been billed and they're back in this queue for review. And that's helpful to make sure you monitor those claims there. But more than likely, you're already seeing these unbilled charges, but there's another type of unbilled charges that could be hanging out and not making it here. And those would be things like unsigned notes and issues with setup that prevent those charges from ever making it to the billing queue. And so to find those charges, which can be a little bit tougher, we're going to jump into the insights and build an unbilled report. Now, with insights, you want to make sure in the new insights, you can sort of build your own custom report from a template. I like to start from the pre-built reports by using the daily note and claim status report, which is under the billing section. It just saves you a little bit of time because a lot of the fields you want are already here. And so this is our starting point, but we need to customize this a little bit by adding some more fields and putting in some filters to really give us the view we want at a glance. So I'm going to add a field here. So we can see that we've got appointment date and we've got daily note status, but I also want to bring in that appointment status. All right, I've got appointment status, and I'm going to then filter this so that we are looking at unbilled charges only. You could set your date range as appropriate. Won't do that here for now, but we will do the appointment status. So we want to look for statuses that are scheduled and checked in. We wouldn't want to include canceled or no-showed appointments here because those shouldn't be billed anyways. The appointment type, you can adjust this as needed depending on how you use the system. Good practice is just to leave it as is, where you exclude these other events and meetings. I'm going to add one more filter for my claim status. And so you could select the claim status as you want. I'm just going to put is blank because that means that a claim hasn't been generated, like there's no claim in the billing queue, right? And so that means it hasn't been billed. So we'll apply those filters, and now I can see I've got my good base report for unbilled charges. So it can really help me understand from the appointment level what happened. This one's, for example, scheduled. So if this was occurring in the past and it was still scheduled, it wasn't checked in or canceled, there's an issue right there that something didn't get completed accurately with that appointment. And so that's a good starting point. You probably wouldn't have this many in your real environment. If it's checked in, that means that's good, that the client came in for the service. Then we can come over here and see the daily note status. And so this daily note, even though the appointment was checked in, it's still in draft status. And this particular appointment was over a month ago. And so that would be a red flag right there that the appointment, the daily note is not complete. So it's not making it over there to the billing queue. And so you can see obviously how you could leverage this report for your unbilled work to find those in the system. What I would recommend doing in Fusion is once you get this kind of set the way you want, you can drag and reorder your fields to make them appropriate to you, adjust your filters, adjust your sorts. Then you could save a copy. And save this as a copy and then pin it to your dashboard. So you know exactly where to find it and already have it pre-filtered to what you want to see. So maybe you run this monthly and you look back at the previous month and you can come in there and view that report as needed. You could obviously download it, do some manipulation to help you better visualize the data as you want. But this is a great starting point to find that unbilled work inside of Fusion. Now, this isn't something you want to do just once. Unfortunately, it's something that can always flare back up. Maybe you have a new therapist, maybe someone starts to forget to sign their notes. There's a million reasons why these different unbilled charges can start to happen in the system. So really you want to set a cadence and make sure you measure this. I would recommend at minimum looking for this each month. Maybe if you haven't done it in the past, maybe you start weekly, bi-weekly, look for any trends, and then you can move to a monthly cadence once you're comfortable and you're on top of these unbilled charges. So that's how you look for the unbilled work inside of Fusion and how you can pin that dashboard so you always have that report available to view. I hope you found this helpful. I did work closely with our revenue cycle management team when putting together this content, so I wanted to give them a quick shout out. They do support more than 600 practices across the country. We have a presence in all 50 states, and they help practices just like yours with things like finding unbilled charges, providing advanced reporting, and working their denied claims. So I wanted to give them a quick shout out and also mention that if you are struggling with unbilled charges, you're struggling with just understanding your billing performance, or you just want a quick check-in to know how things are going, how do you stack up to your peers, we are offering a complimentary billing review where we will pull the data inside of your account and run the data inside your account against some industry key performance indicators to see how you stack up and we'll share that with you along with some additional ways we can help should you need it. But with that, I'll pass it back to London for the Q&A.
Yes, thank you so much, Chase. While I'm opening up the Q&A and reading through some questions, you'll see another poll pop up on your screen. This one asking what feels the hardest to stay on top of right now. Is it preventing those denials, working denials quickly, keeping AR from piling up, collecting these patient payments, knowing what to even tackle first, or is it staffing and timing constraints? So we'd love to hear from you. Again, this helps us build out more content, more educational series just like this for you all. So with that, we'll get to our first question. And someone is asking, can I get an alert when a therapist has more than X number of unbilled charges or unbilled sessions?
Not today, not some functionality we have available, but I will say what you will find is by using these reports and starting to measure that, you will probably start to see trends to which therapist it is that's maybe having some issues completing their documentation. Hopefully that therapist is not you, the practice owner. But that's kind of the best ways to use those reports and check them on a cadence and look for those trends. Maybe in the future we will have that feature available, just not something we have right now.
Thanks, Chase. I'm seeing another question. If a claim is denied, how many times should my team realistically appeal it before we write it off?
That's a great question. I think if you're really talking about a formal appeal, one or two times is sort of generally recommended. But if you just, I don't want to make sure it's not being confused with just resubmitting a claim, right? And so if you're having to resubmit claims a lot without knowing why you're correcting it or what's missing, that can be kind of an alert on the payer side. So you want to make sure, number one, resubmit your claims with the appropriate information that's correct for the denial. And then if you do have to file that formal appeal, that's a little bit different process. And making sure you have everything you need for that first appeal will help you be more successful.
Thanks, Chase. And our last question that we're going to get to today, how do we handle orphaned appointments from therapists who have left the practice?
Okay, I don't know that I've heard that terminology before, but I like it. It helps kind of frame it. So the appointments, we actually ran into this sometimes with my last company where we had a lot of therapists, and if you're not monitoring those unbilled charges, then you can have therapists exit with incomplete documentation. And then really the only action you can take would be to contact that therapist and ask them to sign the documentation, because you by no means want to have someone else sign off or submit those without the sign off, because then you're going to run into audit issues down the road. So best practice is actually making sure that whenever you do have a therapist that is putting their notice is going to be leaving, you have a sort of checklist you do when they're exiting the company. That way you can confirm that all the notes are signed off, and you have that completed before their last day.
Yeah, that's a great call out, Chase. I would like to mention, I know that there was a few questions we didn't get to today. We also have a billing Q&A later this month. That registration link is in the resources section. So if you have more questions or you want to gain more billing insight, this great session to join, and also even just listen in and hear from your peers what questions they're having and the solutions that our RCM team is offering for those individuals. So again, feel free to register in the resources link in your right-hand panel. So with that, thank you so much, Chase, for your time and insight. And thank you to everyone here today for joining us. Don't forget to check out that resources section. Tons of great content in there. And we hope that we get to see you on a future webinar. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks everyone.